Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of CJ's Coins and Crafts. This episode in our US Commemorative Series is going to cover the 1936 Long Island Tercentenary Half Dollar. The first European known to have sighted Long Island, now part of New York State, was Henry Hudson in 1609. At the time of what was later deemed its discovery, 13 tribes of Native Americans were inhabiting the island. The first European settlement on Jamaica Bay was by the Dutch. The British took possession of the area in the 1660s and attempted to rename it Nassau, but it never became popularly used until the establishment of Nassau County in 1899. A bill for the Long Island Tercentenary Half Dollar was introduced into the House of Representatives by John J. Delaney of New York on February 20th, 1936. The bill called for a minimum of 100,000 half dollars to be struck, with no maximum specified. The bill was referred to the Committee on Coinage, Weights, and Measures. That committee reported back on February 28th, 1936, through Andrew Summers of New York, recommending passage. John J. Cochran of Missouri brought the bill to the House floor on March 6th on behalf of Summers and Delaney, and the motion passed without debate or dissent. In the Senate, the bill was referred to the Committee on Banking and Currency. It was one of several commemorative coin bills to be considered on March 11th by a subcommittee led by Colorado's Alva B. Adams. On March 26th, the committee, through Senator Adams, issued a report recommending the bill pass once amended. That amendment required that the coins be struck at only one mint and that they only be issued for a year and bear the date of authorization regardless of when it was actually coined. A minimum of 5,000 coins and a maximum of 100,000 coins were to be issued. Adams recommended that these provisions appear in future commemorative bills. The Senate considered the bill on March 27th, the last in a series of 6 commemorative bills being considered by that body, and like the others, the Long Island Bill was amended and passed without debate or opposition. As the houses had passed different versions, the bill returned to the House of Representatives, where on March 30th, Cochrane asked that the House agree to the Senate amendment. The House agreed to the amendment and passed the bill. It was signed into law by President Franklin D. Roosevelt on April 13th, 1936. At the recommendation of the Commission of Fine Arts, the Tercentenary Committee engaged sculptor Howard Kenneth Weinman, the son of famous Adolf Weinman. Adolf Weinman is known for designing the Mercury dime and Walking Liberty half dollar. He wrote to CFA Secretary H.R. Kamer on April 2nd, 1936, relating that Howard Weinman had been hired and asking for details of the procedure for commemorative coin approval. Kamer replied the following day, stating that the design should be sent to the Philadelphia Mint once the authorization bill had been given the final approval. On April 19th, Howard Weinman wrote to Kamer stating that due to the Tercentenary Committee having gotten off to a late start, only preliminary sketches have been made, and asking at what stage the designs needed to be submitted for approval. Kamer replied on the 21st, stating that for purposes of CFA approval, it would be best to send copies of the photographs of the completed plaster model to him and also to Lee Laurie. By May, Howard Weinman had completed his models. Laurie had reviewed them and only had a few minor suggestions, and overall was greatly pleased with the work. The CFA concurred on the 26th, having some additional suggestions, such as placing half dollar under the ship on the reverse. When Howard Weinman wrote to Kamer on June 22nd, he stated that he was working in haste so the coins would be available as quickly as possible. The commission gave its approval, and the models were reduced to coin-size hubs by the Medallic Art Company of New York City. The obverse of the half dollar depicts Jugget Bess of a Dutch settler and a member of the Algonquin tribe of Native Americans. Howard Wyman wrote of this, "I shall try to infer, by the harmonious balance of the heads, the peaceful settlement of the island by the Dutch. Also present on the obverse are some of the inscriptions required by law, namely liberty in e pluribus unum. The reverse depicts a Dutch three-masted ship sailing to the right. The design resembles the depiction of Henry Hudson's ship Halve Main on the 1935 Hudson sesquicentennial half dollar, but it's more stylized. In the waves the ship rides over is the text "In God We Trust," with the name of the country and the denomination of the coin surrounding the scene, together with the legend Long Island Tercentenary. A total of 100,053 Long Island Tercentenary half dollars were struck at the Philadelphia Mint during August of 1936, with the 53 pieces to be retained at the Mint to be available for inspection and testing at the 1937 meeting of the Annual Assay Commission. Advanced sales accounted for almost 19,000 coins. Despite arriving late, the coins sold relatively well, with 81,626 being sold or accounted for out of the 100,000 coins that were struck, despite having almost no advertising. I want to take a minute to say thank you for watching these videos. If you guys like the history on the commemorative series, hit that like button for me. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe and then hit the bell if you're interested in being notified when I upload new videos. I've got new videos coming out every Wednesday on the commemorative series until we're done, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.